Yo, what's up everyone? Bren here, and this will be my first loss analysis video. So in these type of videos, I'm going to be commentating sort of as I normally do, but with more emphasis on my individual mistakes. And I'll be talking about the alternatives to the various moves I make that would lead to a higher chance to win. So in this game, picked LC since they opened with an Ember pick. And Elsie's really good versus Ember because she provides long duration lockdown with duel and high physical damage. Well, depending on the game, depending on how the game is going, of course. I've played the matchup a few times from the Ember Spirit perspective. It's pretty damn annoying since Elsie limits Ember's ability to split push, limits how he can position himself in team fights. Yeah, just a really strong pick versus Ember. And whenever you're against a melee as Elsie, you just kind of stand on top of the creep wave and auto-attack the enemies whenever they go for CS, just like this. Like, even if he's putting on the Flame Guard and I'm tanking damage from the creeps, I'm still putting out more harass, just because counterattack is so strong in the early laning stage if you have like 4 creeps attacking you, and if the enemy here is also attacking you. Your chance to proc is really high. And so even if I'm taking some damage from the creeps, I'm going to be putting out more relative damage to the enemy here, so I don't really mind. I go for the mango build, mango, salve, tango build as well, so this gives me a lot of regen. And you want a stout shield for sure as an LC offlane. Some offlaners you might go for the ring of protection, but since you're going to be taking a lot of damage from creeps, I would say almost always go for the stout shield on this hero. Now, I choose this replay for loss analysis because well, let me give you some backstory. So, we have an AM Dazzle lane against a Venomancer and a Silencer. AM is not going to be able to do... He's not going to get much in terms of farm here, guys. It's a really difficult lane for him, as most games are right now in terms of safe lane's ability to farm. It's just really difficult. So we're going to lose our safe lane, and we're going to, as you can see, we're winning our offlane, so their safe lane is also losing. And it's also important to note that the AM pick is really... It's going to be hard for AM to do anything against the enemy team unless he has a gold lead, because Windrunner is one of the hardest counters, in my opinion, to anti-mage, because she has long duration lockdown with Shackle Shot, she has evasion with Run Run, and really high physical damage, all three of which are insane versus AM. He really does not... It's really hard for him to deal with that. So just kind of laning this normally, and because of that, guys, because our draft really isn't the best this game, but I am in a position of power. I have a good laning matchup, like most offlaners do right now. I think offlaners have maybe the most game impact right now, depending on the lineups, of course. Sometimes mid will, sometimes the off. I think it's either mid or offlaner that has the most game impact right now. Of course, that's debatable, but that's just kind of what I've seen. I don't even remember the last time I've seen like a safe lane actually get a decent amount of farm. But so right here, I went for a nuke on top of him just to get the creeps and maybe do some damage to him, but just by a little bit. But he's still taking a lot. He's still taking a lot of damage from the Necrophos Aura, which is level 2, and I can play really aggressively on him underneath the tower, force him to miss last hits, and just pressure him a lot. And also, the good thing about LC this game as well, guys, is we have an Expert Invoker, so I can combo with his Sunstrike for easy picks. So yeah, my game plan going into this game, based off our lineups, with having the AM in a pretty much disadvantageous lane bottom, and also not being very strong. Even if he gets like even if he gets decent farm, it's going to be hard for AM to do anything. So so right here I'm getting really aggressively, and I wait to purge off his chains, guys, with my press attack, just because I wanted to bait him in closer to me. So kind of just mind games, like you don't have to purge it off right away. I'm not like at danger. I have a Necrophos by me to pop his heal. I had plenty of HP, but he saw that I wasn't purging it, so he came back in with his Flame Guard, and just a mind game type of play. I don't know why this is popping up, but yeah, so I am in position of power. My game plan is to get an initiation item up, either Blink or Shadow Blade, and then just go around ganking. And even if I'm not successful with my ganks or I'm not able to find ganks, I'm still creating space for AM. Maybe I force the enemy team to stick as 5, and then that'll allow him to get a gold lead and actually be able to do something against the enemy team. Because as it stands with these drafts, he's going to need a gold lead against an Ember with chains, Windrunner, so good against him. Tiny is actually really good against AM as well, with Craggy and just heavy nukes. So we're just kind of running him down right here. Yeah, there's really not too much he can do. And even putting out some damage onto the tower right there. Don't really care too much if I take some damage. I have a bottle on my quick buy too. I think on LC you either want a bottle for your sustain or you want a soul ring. Both of them are pretty good. And something to note is whenever you're pushing a lane and you want to like get the tower really quickly, is basically whenever the creep wave walks up, you want to be the one tanking for it so that you get your counterattacks off onto the creeps. Just so it pushes a little bit better, your creeps take less damage, and you're able to get a lot more tower damage in. Right here underneath the tower, I'm not attacking the enemy creeps. I'm using my creeps to tank, and then I'm just getting the tower damage in. Because it's going to be really important against the enemy lineup that we get their safe lane tier 1 down, just so we can start putting on a lot of pressure and just make it unsafe for them to farm. Especially since I'm having a good time, I have really easy ganks with the Invoker Sunstrikes as well. So really important that we get this tower down. It's kind of laning. Necrovos has an amulet as well. So anyone that comes into this lane, they're taking burn damage from the Necrovos aura. So it's really hard for them to even just be up here. Yeah, okay, so this is actually kind of like the first mistake. We had vision of them, guys. We had vision of both the Tiny and the Venomancer, who's also rotating. And I'm still going for a duel. Yeah, so I didn't even get the kill. This was actually kind of like a little bit of miscommunication as well on my part. I didn't say anything to Necro that I was just going to duel the Tiny straight up. And then I get punished right there by being in a really bad position. And that's actually, this is a huge death. That is a huge death, guys. And because I'm the one that's in the position of power, our draft isn't the best. I'm the one that needed to really kind of just snowball straight up from this lane and limit my mistakes. So a death like that, even though I'm doing, as you can see, I'm doing really well in terms of the net worth. I have 1 kill, 3 assists. Even though I'm doing the best on my team in terms of net worth, that's a big mistake. Now I have duel coming up. Use my nuke on the creeps to get in range from the movement speed, and then get a kill on the Ember. So Ember's being caught out kind of made up for me a little bit, but at the same time, I don't want any deaths in this game. I can't really afford to make them. I need to be the playmaker for my team, guys, based on the lineups, and that's kind of like the importance I'm trying to get at. Okay, so Necrophos pops his Shadow Amulet. Winter doesn't really know exactly where he is. Just gonna nuke him. If I can just kind of like stay around the area and just bait him to waste his time, Winter just kind of like walking back and forth. Like I can just kind of stay up here. Okay, he's not gonna go down. Very close to getting the Windrunner though, but Nectar's in a really bad position. I want to walk over here and try to use my press the attack on him, just give him some regen. Hopefully he survives, but he went down. Yeah, I just really need to be farming it. I need, okay, so this game as well, I need to, my thought process was, basically, I'm doing really well. I'm doing well enough that I can probably go for a Shadow Blade first, and you might not really like Shadow Blade on this hero. A lot of it comes on a personal preference between different players, but I think that if you can get an extremely fast Shadow Blade, that it's actually worth it most of the time. Bad Shadow Blade builds are when you get it like kind of delayed. Blink is better if you're having like a bad game. I think Shadow Blade though, if if you play it correctly. It forces them to use sentries. It forces them to stay together earlier. And yeah, so we're just kind of running down the Venomancer right here. Or Kilson. But yeah, I really like Shadowblade. If I'm doing well, I think it's pretty good at pushing your advantage. The only thing about Shadowblade though is you might end up getting caught out of position. Where with Blink Blink might help you to make more calculated ganks. But in this type of situation, I'm going to be able to get down their tower. And it's just going to be at such a quick time, especially with Ember being kind of far behind. Like if I ever find Ember out of position, he's just dead. The damage is going to be really helpful too for maybe killing the Windrunner, depending on how his game is going and the build that he goes for. If he goes for the standard ore build, which he's going to be going for, it's going to be pretty hard for me to kill him.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Yeah. I see my team mid. I just want to pressure this lane like I would normally do. No reason for me to rotate down there. But there's going to be some mistakes though, guys, where I do kind of get tunnel vision. Like right now, I'm doing what I need to be doing. But there's going to be some tunnel vision sort of mistakes. So we want to go for this kill. I'm going to open with my nuke. Give myself some movement speed. Damage him when he's near the creeps. He combos me. I know it's not enough damage. I have treads. So, get a pick right there. And yeah, just TPing out. They have one hero missing from mid. Actually, you know what? I might have been able to stay up there and actually farm that wave. But I guess I didn't see Silencer, and I was actually really low. So I guess TPing back was fine. But I have my Shadowblade. And at this point, I really just want to get a quick timing kill with this. I see the haste. If I can get that haste, it'll make ganking a lot easier. Don't know exactly where the wards are, so I'm just going to pop the invis. Reduce his chance of seeing me. Now, AM is kind of far away, so I didn't duel him right here. If he continued to go down, I would have dueled him because AM was near the area. But since he's going up, that's a little bit riskier. AM wouldn't be able to get as many attacks in during a duel. But actually, with Invoker having Sunstrike up, I think I should have just dueled him straight up. He probably would have died. So that's actually a mistake. I definitely could have killed him there, actually. That would have been a huge kill. But this is going to be... So we're getting aggressive on him, on the Venomancer. And like right here, guys, I need to just say back. I need to spam my chat wheel, get back, get back. But instead, I basically said fuck it. And then we're continuing to die. This is a bad mistake, guys. This is really bad. And these are the type of mistakes that you cannot make in these type of games. Like if you have draft advantage, sure, you can make those type of mistakes, but I've talked about this before. When your lineup is kind of lacking against the enemy teams, and especially since I'm the highest net worth, so I gave up a lot of gold. Yeah. It's just really bad to be making those type of over-aggressive, tunnel vision type of mistakes. You really just need to kind of calm down and be focused on what you need to be doing. Yeah, it's just tunnel vision right there. I definitely could have prevented that. And the Necrophos died as well. And right here I had to go do something really quickly. Yeah, come back, yeah, come back. Okay. So actually, that mistake I just made down bottom as well, guys, by forcing my team to overcommit, that kind of led to Necrophos and Invoker dying right here. If I just backed, then the Necrophos wouldn't have died. I wouldn't have died down bottom. We would have just forced the rotations from them, make them waste their time. I still would have gotten the dual damage for Venomancer, but since we went down, that kind of influenced what just happened. It might not seem like it, but you need to be looking at the game kind of like that. Like one mistake can kind of lead to like a domino effect where everything just starts going wrong, and that type of mistake that I made down bottom is actually completely game losing. Here, I want to go for the tiny. So just open with my Shadow Blade, go for the bonus damage on him, and I'm getting caught out. I got the dual damage, but is this worth it? It's hard to say. Probably not. It's actually definitely not, because Tiny is the lowest net worth, and any kills or any trades in this type of situation is actually bad for us, guys. If you are the team that needs to get ahead in the game, then any trades are pretty much bad, I would say. You want to be taking more calculated risks. You want to go for going for type of plays where you get 2 kills, maybe you just lose 1. So that was actually another mistake for me going on the Tiny. But I still got the damage, so I got the damage and we did kill the Windrunner, so it wasn't... It might not seem that bad, but at the end of the day, that type of stuff just cannot be occurring. So I'm pouring top. And I have Blade Mill in my quick buy. And Blade Mill would have been really good had I not made those mistakes. It would have allowed me to kind of just push my lead, be really aggressive with ganks, because of the return damage, of course. But I'm actually not going to be going for the Blade Mill right now, guys. I'm actually going to be going for a build we see kind of in competitive games and pubs games, whatever. I'm going to be going for the Shadow Blade into the Blink. Sometimes you even see Blink into Shadow Blade. I think if you have 2, it's actually pretty good. You force them to buy detection. You're still going to get the initiation from the Blink Dagger follow-up, and you get some of the damage from the Shadow Blade, so it's not too bad. Oh, I can even build this into a Silver Edge versus a Tiny, which actually didn't occur to me in the game, but as this goes later, it could be pretty useful, especially since AM doesn't want to buy BKB against Craggy. So maybe me being able to buy the Silver Edge would actually be pretty good. But yeah, let's look at the... Yeah, so they have a gold lead, no EXP lead really, but this should not be occurring. We have an AM lineup, and AM is playing against his counters. So my mistake, actually, guys, really set our team behind. Even though I'm gonna be able to kill this Ember, it's... I mean, that's obviously a really good pickoff, but still, I'm gonna be walking over to the side right here, and I'm just gonna be TPing out. Don't know where they are, just playing it safe. Oh, actually, that was a mistake right there. I didn't need a TP back to base. I could have just TP'd mid lane and kind of just farmed the neutrals, and then maybe like ate my mango. Like, I don't really need the mango at this point, so kind of inefficient TP right there, just by a little bit, but still. We need to be looking at everything in these type of games. No real action going on. I can't really return to the offlane currently. I know that they probably rotated. We see them on vision. Actually, another thing I could have done this game, guys, is... Okay, it's kind of buggy here. Is... I could have, or I should have, bought a ward for myself and placed it either right here or right here. And this would allow me to stay, like, in these 2 jungle camps and play really aggressively on their offlane. It's being a lot more safe. So that type of ward spot can actually win you the game if it allows you to be aggressive. Wasn't really something I even thought about during the game, but I should have been playing LC more like a Morphling in that sense, where I'm just on the enemy side of the map, still pushing, getting pickoffs. But going for this kill, Necrophos Assault into my duel, get the pickoff. I'm getting pretty close to my blink. No. Okay, so that time I TP to the mid lane instead of TPing home, so that's good. Just walking over to the side shop. I almost have my blink. I'm actually meant to sell my mango here, guys, but I accidentally fucking ate it. Not a big deal. Sold my TP. Just really wanted this blink. So I have my blink and my Shadow Blade. I think this is a pretty good build, but maybe the stronger build and more reliable, consistent build would probably just be blink into Blade Mail. I think that's a really strong build. But now, in regards to the Shadow Blade, do I think it paid off this game? I think that it didn't pay off just because of the play that I made bottom, and me not really playing as aggressive as I should be in their offlane. So that's kind of like why I chose this game as well. Even though I am second in net worth in the game, doing all right. I still have a lot of control in this game, guys, and so we get this pick off, and this isn't worth it either. Like, their Ember is the one struggling, and me keeping Ember down isn't even that big of a deal at this point, because the one that we need to be worrying about is the Wind Ranger. So for me going for those type of trades is bad. Yeah, I shouldn't even be going for those type of trades. I should just be focused on farming their jungle, trying to steal their farm, and just keep them as 5. Like I was saying, like, they've kind of been as 5, but I've been the one that's been overextending. So I chose this game because even though it might not seem that I'm doing that badly, I definitely am. 6-4 and 8, 0-4-0 Dazzle, but that's not really his fault. Dazzle has a really hard time against enemy heroes. Mostly the Silencer, who's being played as a core. He can't really grave targets that are getting comboed by Tiny. It's kind of a hard game for the Dazzle, but the AM already talked to about him a lot. Had a hard lane bottom, and the enemy team has a lot of pickoff, especially since with Silencer out, where he really needs a Manta before he can even start pressuring lanes and getting a huge lead. So, like, I'm the one that needed to pretty much play not a perfect game, but I needed to not make the type of large misplays that I have been. So even though my score may be okay, I would say I played pretty badly this game. But so we are definitely behind. I'm going for this type of play where we just go in, but they're all here already, and this is another bad play by me. Kind of forced my team into, well, actually I don't know if that was a bad play by me, because our idea during this game was to just go for a push. So I don't know. Maybe I don't know. Not really too bad of a play. They kind of just have teamfight advantage right now, and we wanted to go for a pickoff. AM can't really farm against enemy team, so it was kind of a risky fight, but we're pretty far behind. Even though the graphs might not say it, like I've been talking about, we needed to have a lead against the lineup. Like, we needed to have like a 5k goal lead right now just to be equal in terms of power against the enemy team, if that makes sense. And that gold had to be on the AM, most of it. So either on the AM or on me. I will say one thing about this Invoker build. He went for the Exort, I think, because he wanted to go for the quick Yules, and obviously having more Sunstrike power is great for an LC. That just allows me to get more duels, but I think a better build would have just gotten Quasta 2. And I think in general it always is, just so you can get the double Forge Spirits out and put on a lot of lane pressure and just split push, force them to spread out, create space. So I think in terms of that, so there's Venom right here, going for kind of a risky gank, but when you're behind, you need to be making these type of plays. Yeah, so this is the stage where we're behind, and at this point in the game, you need to be going for like the risky ganks, the risky split pushing. A really good player to look at in competitive games that does this a lot, does it really well, is Eternal Envy. Like, people will say shit about the type of plays he makes, but he's making those type of plays because he knows that's his highest chance to win. So it might seem clowny, but that's what you have to do to try and get yourself back into a losing game. Sometimes it works out well, and it seems amazing. Sometimes you'll just fail completely. But that doesn't matter. You need to go for the highest chance to win play based on the current game state. So yeah, right here I'm hiding in the trees. If the lane pushes in, I'm gonna push it back out. It's kind of pushed more towards their side, so that's all right. We don't have full vision of them, but I just want to stay around this area just to help AM try and get his farm. If I keep this pushed, maybe that forces one of their heroes to commit to pushing this lane back. That'll make it safer for my AM to farm the jungle and my Invoker. So AM gets picked. He wants to farm, but yeah. So since he got picked, and obviously I've seen them all there, it's my time to just get out of hiding in the trees and just push this lane in as hard as I can. We can't really take a team fight against them. Our lineup is like if we get shackle shotted or just kind of like stunned by the tiny, Windrunner's gonna kill one person. We're probably gonna get chained by the Ember. Poison. They have a mech. It's really hard for us to take a team fight right now. So I'm going for the... I think this is the best type of play in this type of situation. Just to at least go for some form of trading. When you know that you have no chance of really taking a team fight near the racks. Like if I'm back here, guys, if I'm back here going for a fight, what's going to happen is our entire team is going to get wiped. Most likely. Of course, maybe there's a chance that they misplay and we completely win the team fight, but I made that type of call because I pretty much figured that there's no chance we're gonna win a team fight versus their enemy team. If we got wiped, they would have not only gotten the racks like they did, but they probably would have gotten the bottom lane of racks as well. So the type of situation which I kind of facilitated our team into this type of losing situation. Of course, it's not okay. So the thing is, you need to be. I think a lot of people, in terms of their mindset, is to look at their teammates and stuff like that. And of course, your teammates are going to make mistakes, just like you. But there's no... When you're looking at a replay, guys, there's no real point in terms of bringing out their mistakes. You really just need to focusing on yourself, because you're the constant variable. And that's why in my games, I don't really talk too much about my teammates. I don't really give a shit what they do. They're going to do whatever they do, no matter what. But... well, the one thing I did bring up, though, is this Quas build, but I just bring shit up just to help everyone that's listening sometimes, but yeah, I think double Force Spirit would have been pretty good, though. So I want to go for a pick. Like I said, we lost our racks. We need to try and force them away from getting near our base. So I'm going to blink in and... kind of like the same time I saw the ward, I was doing him, but this isn't too bad unless I get picked off. I'm going to be getting, yeah, Ember's TPing in, and I TP late. I needed the TP right away, and I would have lived. There was actually no, yeah, in those type of cases, you just need to TP right away. Against a hero like Venom Master who has no stun. Just by rerunning, I'm slowed. Someone can come in like the Ember did and just pick you off. This lane is very difficult, though. Now at this stage, they might get top tower. Our team is going to go for the defense, but there's always going to be the type of losing games as well, guys, where you really can't even like go out across the map because the enemy team might have like a spear breaker type of lineup. They might also have, they might just be better to the split pushing, ganking. You just can't even leave the base, and those type of games, you kind of just have to sit patient in your base and wait for the enemy team to fuck up. And that might sound kind of shitty to say, but that's how some games are. A lot of games are actually, but pretty boring just sitting in your base because that's really the most you can do, other than going for like a risky smoking. But yeah, so we are smoked right now. But this isn't the type of game though where our only option is sitting in base. Like we can still be out on the map a bit. Looking for a pick, and yeah, we get jumped right here. Went on the illusion, and that is really bad that we just lost those two. It would be hard for us to defend even with 5, but losing the Invoker and the Dazzle is just gonna make this a lot harder. I'm blinking in. We decided to just go for a fight, so yeah. I buy back, but it doesn't really matter. I don't have duel up. And they're kind of just disengaging anyways. Forcing me to buy back. Dispel the chains, but taking a lot of damage. Like we need to win a team fight. I'm just kind of walking back. I'm taking way too much damage, even though I'm getting healed. This is a really good grave, though, by the Dazzle. It's going to allow me to put out a lot of damage. 'Cause I have 110 dual damage, guys. I have had a decent number of successful duels this game, and I'm actually just surviving my counterattack, the dazzle from heal, and he grazed me again. So yeah, it's pretty good plays by Dazzle. It's just unfortunate that we were up against a lineup that we were. It was really hard game for the Dazzle to really do much. Like if one of the targets gets gone on by the Tiny, and like the Ember Spirit, like the Sleight of Fist or Power Shot, they're just gonna get bursted really quickly. And in team fights, his sustain from heal is limited. He can't grave because of the silencer ult. It's really difficult. And that's why I kind of picked this game. Like, I needed to be the one that made well, not very few mistakes, but small I needed to make the only type of mistakes that I was allowed to make in this game, guys, were just extremely small ones, like very small mechanical mistakes. Like maybe I'm a little bit inefficient with my farming or something like those type of mistakes. Not the type of mistakes where I die and then my aggression forces my teammates to die as well because they want to follow up. I'm going for a pick right here. And then, yeah, found out he has the Lincolns. So, just didn't check his items. And then AM blinks in. He knows the Lincoln's is down. He wanted to blink on top of him, manta him, and then go for an ulti, but their team came as well. So, it's pretty bad. Pretty unfortunate. Yeah, this power in is really bad right now. I'm going for my BKB. With my BKB, even if I blink in BKB and then duel someone, okay, so I'm doing illusion. This is really bad. I think I even had vision of the Venom, the other Venom when I blinked in, so I should have known right away that it was an illusion. But even with my BKB, if I blink in BKB then duel someone, it's still not gonna. My team still won't be able to follow up because Silencer will just ult at that point. So what we need to do is we need to try and force the enemy team into a situation where we go on them maybe, and then they pop Silencer ult, and then we're able to disengage with maybe only losing one hero at most, and hopefully that hero has buyback, and then we get them into a situation where they're pushing high ground, and then we're able to go on them with my BKB and with them having Silencer ult. Like that's kind of like the dream play at this point for our team, guys. Actually, ideally would be maybe like an AM bomb occurring after what I just kind of explained on the top of the Silencer. If I manage to get like a duel on him, that's the type of play like we need to be making. AM goes in the Ember, but he has a safety remnant and he's just out. Pushing this lane out with illusions. Always important in these type of games to have the lanes pushed out. See them bottom anyways. And this is pretty much the time. If we lose 2 racks, game is basically over. Completely over. We're not going to really be able to come back against enemy team unless they make like a massive throw. Maybe they buy like a Rapier or something. We force buybacks and then we kill them again. Like, they really need to fuck up big time if they get 2 racks on us. So they jumps the Windrunner, or jumps the Dazzle. He dies extremely quickly. I didn't have enough time to debuff the Shackle. He died in like 2 shots or 3 shots from the ultimate. Even if I use my buff, there's still like the Gravecast time. He was dead. And right now, Foker's getting gone on. He's getting slowed. I can't really even engage. I'm still looking for an opening. Like I said, like I wanted to go on the Silencer. The only way we're winning this game is from an AM bomb on the Silencer, and he gets like 3 kills from that, and we're able to defend the racks. But at this point in time, the game is basically over. And looks like they're just gonna throw us here. Pretty sure they do. Yeah. So hopefully you guys found this video useful. Plan on doing more like these. Yeah, where is the score screen? Is this bugged? Okay, here we go.
Trophy of
I'm gonna pause it. I don't want it to end. Yeah, so pretty decent game to look at. Um, Overall, I was in a position of power. I should have just done my normal game plan instead of being overly aggressive. Wasn't patient. Got tunnel visioned, and then I lost. And then we lost. Um, I think if I did play better, I don't know if we would have won for sure. Just because AM versus Windrunner and Tiny, and even Ember is really good. It would have been hard, but our chance of winning would have been a lot higher. Yeah, so let me know if you guys enjoy these type of videos. I've been pretty busy lately. Haven't been able to really read or respond to comments. I think I have like 30 notifications or some shit or messages. So yeah. Anyways, if you like this type of video, let me know. See you guys later.